Dangers of paying employees cash, no payroll, 1099. Well, in Washington State, LNI, which stands for Labor and Industry, might review this as employer fraud because you're doing this to avoid taxes, which means you're committing a fraud. Hello, and thank you for tuning into this video. My name is Abdiwali Mohamed, and I'm a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and a Master's of Science Federal Taxation holder based in Seattle, Washington. You are most likely here because the subject of this video might be an interest to you. I have been an accountant and a CPA for the last 18 years and counting. I meet many individuals and business owners who want to take care of their personal financial needs, including their individual taxes, and business owners who want to start a new business. In the interest of time, we have divided this video into parts. There will be 6 parts. This is the last part that I'm going to go right now, which is who is an employee, who is a contractor. I really want to spend about 5-10 minutes here, because I have seen many folks who were employees, but they were treated as a contractor. They received 1099. Well, understanding employee versus contract designation, state agencies such as LNI, IRS can classify employee and a contractor differently. It's your responsibility as a owner or as a business owner to understand and correctly apply rules. You're probably confused, I'm wondering. Seek professional guidance, because what can mean a contractor at the LNI can mean an employee at the IRS level. For federal employment purposes, okay? I'm not talking about state. I'm talking about for federal employment purposes. A business must examine the relationship between itself and the worker. Federal rule generally is that an individual is an independent contractor if the payer has the right to control or direct only the result of the work, not what will be done and how it will be done. For example, I have a gentleman right now recording this video. I have hired him to do this project. He's not an employee. He brought his tools. This belongs to him. This belongs to him. He's a contractor. He works for himself. What I'm going to do, he's going to invoice me, and I'm going to pay him. And I have the right to give him 1099 at the end of the year. Okay? But guess what? If I was a big accounting CPA firm and I had a public relations department and I paid that employee to videotape and record me as a partner, other employees, and put those videos on Facebook, Instagram, he's an employee. He's going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. He has a W-2, right? That is the difference, generally speaking. What is an employee and a contractor? Not what will be done, but how it will be done. Whether a worker is an independent contractor or employee depends on the facts of each situation. There is a link here that I put. I'm not going to click it now because it's really, really detailed, but I will really encourage you to talk to a CPA or an attorney if you're confused and if you have employees that you're currently paying as contractors, because the consequences are really severe if you ever get audited, or even if this person gets injured at your job. Don't want to make you scared, but think about it. Okay? This is what I say. Dangers of paying employees cash, no payroll, 1099. Well, in Washington State, LNI, which stands for Labor and Industry, might review this as employer fraud because you're doing this to avoid taxes, which means you're committing a fraud. Honestly, fraud is hard to prove, but you don't want to ever to be part of an LNI audit. Pays workers in cash, doesn't give them any kind of a payroll stop. Give his workers a 1099 form instead of a standard W-2. Remember my guy who's recording right now versus my guy who has a public relations? Pays workers other than cash or check by such as things as free rent, reimbursement of expenses, barter, right? Hey, do this for me, I'll do this for you. It requires employees to work long hours, but turns in fewer hours, right? So for example, you make me work 12 hours, right? But in reality, when you submit my information, you say 4 hours, so you can reduce your taxes. That's a fraud. Has a worker who gets injured on the job and the employer promises to pay the doctor and medical bills rather than reporting that to accident. It happened. It happens. Someone came to my office who was paying somebody cash and the person got injured and the person went to LNI. They promised the person, hey, don't go to the doctor. I don't go to LNI. I'll take care of it. It can be expensive. You don't want that. It's really, really cheap sometimes to pay LNI. And honestly, sometimes people don't know this. But ignorance is not an excuse. The government will always say, why didn't you seek a professional advice? Okay? Continuing, employers caught trying to manipulate their taxes rates must pay taxes they owe, and these are really the severe in Washington State. 10 times the difference, the amount of taxes that you should have paid or the amount that you should have paid. So you don't want that. A fine of $250 or 200% of a quarterly for each offense in Washington State. Okay? So here is my conclusion to you. Advice from a CPA. Keeping track of money-related activities for individual or a business. Please have an accounting system in place. Have an advisor, professional person on your side to help you. What kind of money-related activities? Cash received, cash paid out, sales, purchase, and other activities. Have adequate documentation, records. Technology has improved significantly. With the simple of your phone, you can scan a receipt and upload it to your Dropbox, and you will never lose that receipt, right? So thank you so much for tuning into our video, and I'm glad you have stayed with us. If you need more information, I can be reached at by visiting my website. It's www.abdiwalicpa.com, and I'll definitely put it on the display for you, plus my phone number. I look forward to reconnecting with you next time. Thank you.